let's get started with what we're going to conversate with on today. First of all, I want to start off by saying we want to just title this called "Pushing Through When You Don't Want to." Just pushing through when you don't want to. The first thing I want to start off by saying, because I want to help some people out, especially a lot of new people that's coming into the industry, that's coming into the field of network marketing. I want you guys to understand something, that what I'm about to say, I'm going to start off with a paradox, but if you let me explain myself, I'm going to clear things up so you'll have a clear understanding of what I'm meaning, okay? This business is not about people, it's about you. And most people may think, well, hold on, that's what we're all about, bringing people in. You're absolutely correct. There is a time in this industry where it's all about people and it's not about you. But right now, what I want you to understand and stay in context of the comment is this business it's not about people, it's about you. And what I mean by that is that you have to realize that you are the determining factor in your success. People are not. When I say that, I'm talking about the prospects that you may be talking to, the friends and associates that you thought were going to get into business with you that have never, ever gotten started, the people that's been lying to you and deceiving you, telling you they're going to get going with you. See, you have to get to the point where you realize it's about you, and it's not about anyone else in terms of your growth. You have to make sure that you're becoming what you desire. You have to make sure that you are growing. See, every time you're going through what it is that you need to be doing in this industry and what the system teaches, do you realize that your business is growing? See, most people base their growth upon the numbers of others that come on board with them, when that's really not the way you should be looking at it. Everything should be about you doing the right activity, always following the system. And if you're doing that, trust me, time is going to catch up with you to where now you're going to be rewarded for the seeds that you were sowing through right activity. And most people, they miss that one. They always come in and they always want to base things based upon what they see from other people, not realizing that, no, this is about me right now. See, that's the one thing that my wife and I, every time we don't hit our goals or we don't accomplish some of the things that we've been going after, we never look at or fault the team, because my philosophy or our belief is this, that the team moves with the energy of the leader. See, most of the time, when you're looking around, and if you have that kind of time to wonder what it is that your team is doing, then obviously there's something that you aren't doing, because you should always be setting a pace. Leadership summed up in one word is example. That's the way that you build a business, is you're always setting the example. You're always setting the pace as a leader. You're always leading from the front. That's the way that you go. And one of the things as we're looking around and we're assessing, guess what we say to ourselves? Whenever we miss the mark, whenever we don't accomplish a goal that we had set, we say to ourselves, what is it that we did wrong? Because, see, leadership also is the ability to take people where they didn't realize that they can go, where you can get something out of a person that they didn't realize existed. And that's when you're starting to tap in now to true leadership. So if we weren't able to get the people to a level that we needed to go to and they needed to go to, something was wrong in our leadership. Because watch this, the business is about us. It's not about them. It's not about pointing fingers. It's not about saying who's wrong and who dropped the ball, who didn't pull their weight, who didn't do their part. No, what didn't we do as leaders so that the mission could be accomplished? So you have to understand something, that you have to get to the point where you're not willing to let outside forces determine who you are and determine your growth and your success. You have to get to that point. At some point in your journey, you have to realize that it's so important. And I always say that to people. I say, when you get the revelation that this business is not about people, it's about you, you got it. Because I watch so many people get frustrated. I watch so many people get discouraged. I watch so many people quit. I watch so many, because they miss their goals, they always tend to fold their hand because it didn't go the way as planned when they started out on the journey. See, I want you to understand something. The one thing that you always will own is your mind and what's inside you. You never let people rent space in your head. Never. You never give that area up. See, what's inside you is yours. You possess that. You own it. That's your sanctuary. That's your solitary. That's your being. See, the outside forces can never affect that Everything that you already need is inside of you. See, the problem that most of us have is this. It's we talk about pushing through when you don't want to. And I'm telling you, we're going to get to the point, but I'm prefacing it with this because we're going somewhere with this. I want you to understand something, that most of you guys, you always handing that over. See, when somebody that you thought would get in, because the people you think won't will, and the people you think will won't. That's just the way this works. See, there's no science to this. It's a numbers game. It's the law of large numbers, going through the numbers. See, you're going to find those people that's ordained to be with you. But what you need to understand as you're going along your journey is you can't ever hand over who you are to another human being. What do I mean by that? Because you see the vision, you see the dream, you're jumping up and down in Vegas, and you're excited at all the Super Saturdays. But the minute someone says no to you, or the minute someone doesn't see the vision with you, now you hand over the seed that's been placed inside of you to someone else. See, you have made the business about them. You're not understanding. No, it's about you. Because those same people that's telling you no, listen to me, they're going to be on board with you. Those same people that's telling you no, you're going before them, and there's something that's going to happen along the way in their life, or you're going to be the one that's going to save their home, or be able to stroke the check to them for them to have that surgery that they needed for their child. See, that's what you don't understand. And you can't allow that to determine your journey and who you are in terms of your destiny. And we watch it time and time again, people quitting and people giving up because they handed over who they were to another human being. And that's the one thing you can't do. Let me tell you something, guys. I want you to understand something. This is about maybe my 6th or 7th year in the industry. I got started maybe around about 2006. And I remember when I first got started in the industry, the first 40 people that my wife and I'll never forget this. I know it. I remember it like it's in front of me right now. I had a list of 26 names. She had a list of 14 in our very first opportunity. And I'll never forget, we went to those people, all 40 of those people told us no, struck out, 0 for 40. Nobody. Oh, man, you're doing something like that? Are you crazy? Man, what's wrong with you, man? With you guys that had dignity at one point. Now that's the kind of stuff. It was hardcore no's. It wasn't just a no like, hey, no, we're not interested. It was hardcore slamming no's. But this is the point. See, the one thing that we knew along the whole way was who we were. And we weren't willing to let anyone talk us out of our vision that we saw in terms of when we got started. Because, see, I wanted you to understand that made us stronger. See, it had the opposite effect of me. Because now you were making me stronger in terms of embracing what it was that I was going after. See, pushing through when you don't want to. Because it didn't have to be that no one was along the journey with me. They didn't have to be taking the ride with me because it was a vision that's been placed inside of you. See, why are you trying to put your burden on someone else? It's your vision that you've been blessed with. So now why are you worrying if another person who don't see what you see is coming on board with you to where now you're ready to back up? You're wondering if it's going to work. You're doubting and you're debating when you should be moving forward because your vision is coming alive. I want you guys to understand something. Most of the times when you're taking your time along your journey, you're really, really in such a good position and you really don't understand it. Let me tell you why. Because you're being groomed for leadership for when you get that big group of people. Because there's things you have to learn. There's things that you have to go through. See, if most of you all was to get a massive amount of people, you want 1,000 people to hit your business tomorrow, you wouldn't know what to do with them. You wouldn't know how to keep them. You wouldn't be ready for them. See, so an injustice can't be done to you because there's a process that you have to learn in terms of your growth. See, sometimes when those type of things happen to you, it's good for you because it encourages you and it makes you stronger mentally to where now you need to understand another philosophy we abide by. We're in this business with everyone, but we're in this business with no one. What do I mean by that? Man, we're on board with everybody, but we're not caught up in anybody because anybody can quit today or tomorrow. They can have a different emotional feeling about this. They can go search in Google trying to find everything that's wrong with the company and just decide it's not for them. So you can't get emotionally attached to anybody along this journey. You have to be dealing with the people that's ordained to be positioned with you. So you can't get caught up in that. And that's what most people do. Oh, my girlfriend is not doing it anymore, or my partner. I don't have no emotional ties like that with anyone because any day they can decide that it's not for them. See, you have to see the vision clearly for yourself. There's a period in time where you have to borrow someone's faith. There's a period in time where that has to happen. There was a point in time where I borrowed Mr. Emanitie's faith, maybe for about the first week till I saw that first check, and I didn't need his faith anymore. I had my own at that point. So, yeah, I borrowed it maybe for about the first 3-4 days till I saw how Organo Gold pays and how good this company has been to my wife and I. And I want you all to understand that today, because I wanted to start right there, because that's very key. Because I watch a lot of good people hang their head. I watch a lot of good people be discouraged when they shouldn't be, because they don't realize the path that they're on. They don't realize how successful they really are if they just take the time to realize. Stop letting people determine who you are. Don't worry about the no's. Don't worry about the people that don't see it. See, I want you guys to remember something on this call. If you don't remember anything else, I'm going to say in these minutes I have on here, I want you to hear this. Let revenge be your result. Let your results be your revenge. That's the way you pay people. Don't respond back. Don't respond back on Facebook. Don't respond back word for word when they're talking about you or laughing at you as you're building a business. They don't want to come to conversate with you. Don't respond back. What you should do is, when you're moving forward, let your results speak to them. Let your production speak to people. That's the way that you pay people back. See, there were so many people that have talked about us and said different things, but guys, how many of you guys know they're not talking anymore? They were family members. You see, I'm showing you how crucial it is in terms of building. There were family members that used to laugh at us, that used to laugh, and every time I would come to the barbecue, I'm like, oh, you get away from him. Here he come, y'all. He gonna get you. He trying to get you into something. Watch it. Well, there was times I was standing off in the corner by myself. But how many of you guys know nobody's laughing now? See, because it had a different effect on me. It didn't make me weaker. It made me stronger, because it was compelling me. It was giving me the energy that I needed, because I'm glad that you doubted me. But watch this. What helped us push through when sometimes we really didn't want to was the fact that we was working our mental muscles. And what do you mean? Because we were self-developing. We was pouring into ourselves. We was listening to those going before us. We was looking at the leadership. See, that keeps you encouraged. When you could tell a person who's not self-developing, because they'll always have a different attitude every time you see them. They're up and down one way. They don't want to push through. They always want everything to be easy. No, see, you need to learn. That's when it's time to grow. Listen, when it's time to grow. You ready? When you're being challenged. Not when you're sitting in the audience clapping when you got 3,000 and 4,000 or 5,000 people around you. That's not when you're growing. That's when you're learning. That's when you're getting learned knowledge. That's when you're getting it poured into you. Now you have to exercise applied knowledge. When you leave, that's when the true journey begins, because everybody's not coming home with you. See, that's when it's time to believe now. That's when it's time to put in action what you learned. And now what most of you guys do is you back away now. That's when you're growing. No, that's when you have to move forward. That's when you got to get in the ring and fight. See, many of you guys, you want to become heavyweight champ of the world, and you never want to take a punch. You always want throw blows, but you never want to take one. You don't ever want one coming back at you. You have to calculate everything in the scenario as you're building forward. That's what most people don't do. You know what I like? I like people to understand that they have to manage their expectations. What do I mean by that? So you can't leave the emotion. And I look at some people, they'll go to a big event, and they haven't made Sapphire yet, and they'll look at you in your eyes. I'm going diamond in the next week. I'm going to do it. So you have to manage it. You don't know you're emotional right now. You're excited. See, what you need to do is, because guess what, you're not calculating. You're going to walk out of here, and you're going to run into some of them same no's that you've been getting. You're going to run into some of that same deception that's been out there, and you're not calculating that as you're being emotional. So you have to understand that, hold on, I have to realize that there are going to be some challenges. There are going to be some things that I have to push through. And I have to prepare myself mentally so that now I'm on the page that I need to be on so that I can grow. Because I have to realize that this is about me. See, I have to actually become what I want to attract. See, some of you guys want great, phenomenal leaders and people of influence, but you have to get to the point where you're being attractive to where those people will want to connect with you. And the way you become attractive is the way that you're speaking, the way that you're thinking. the way that you're treating people. All of those are things that people are looking at in terms of whether or not they want to do business with you. You can't bully people into the opportunity. You don't need to be convincing. You don't need to be debating. You don't need to be twisting arms. You don't need to be begging. See, you have to get yourself to a point where you're attractive and you have a posture to where now, guess what? Hey, I want to do business with that person. I want to do business with that guy or that young lady because they're going somewhere. See, that's very important. But those people, I guarantee you, at some point, they had to push through when they didn't want to. When they didn't want to go forward, that was the time to grow. What you need to know is this. Stop basing your business on numbers. Base your business on you, because when you're being poured into and when you're learning and you're doing the right activity, do you know that your business is growing? You are growing. When you're growing, your business is growing, because I promise you, it's going to catch up with you in numbers when you learn to actually build you first. You can't recruit anyone else, and you never recruited yourself. You are always your first recruit. Many of you guys have never been recruited into this opportunity. Let the truth be told. See, today we want to be honest. See, I know sometimes the truth is ugly. But what we have to do, all of us, is say to ourselves, hold on, man, what is it that I really have never done? I've never put all my chips in with this thing. I've never really I really don't believe. I'm asking people to do something that I'm not willing to do. I really don't believe in this thing like I say I do. I really don't, because if I did, watch this, we would be able to see the fruits of those that believe, that really believe, that's willing to push it all on the line. You're not going to make excuses. You're not going to use your children. See, no. Your children shouldn't be your excuse. They should be your reason. They should be going forward on why you're making it happen, not why you can't come, why you can't show up. Let me say what I'm saying to you. What I'm saying is all about you. Guys, I want you to know something. See, when you're going to a lot of events and you're doing your CJMs and nobody's there, great, good. I love to hear that. Because guess what I'm saying? Okay, now your journey is beginning. Now you're growing. I said, what did you do when you got there? Did you do the event? Did you still go forward with it? Did you do a training? Did you do anything positive? Or you wanted to see 1 million people sitting in a room before you could do what it is that you need to do? See, you have to understand something. When a person has that type of mentality, guess what? I understand. You've made the business about people. This business is not about you. You need to understand how important it is for you to always do your job. I don't care if it's 2 or 200 in a room. You go and do what it is that you're supposed to do, because that's growth. That's when it's growing, because I want you to understand something. When you sow the right seeds, your harvest is going to come from a different place. You'll be right there at that place where nobody was at, and all of a sudden, you got 2 and 3 people calling you, telling you they need help to sign gold packs in. See, the harvest will come if you're just willing to plant the seeds and go forward and do what it is that you always need to do. The other night, guys, the other day I was going into New York, and my back went out, blew out. I mean, still in back pain right now as we doing this call on tonight, pushing through when you don't want to. Still in back pain right now. And as I was loading up, I was on the phone with my good friend Darren Orr, and my back blew out. And I'm talking about literally, I almost was in tears. My wife was like, hey, listen, don't get on that plane. I mean, you don't need to go this time. And I talked to Mr. Emanitier, and he was laughing. We was laughing at it. It was kind of funny, because I'm like, man, I'm being pushed through the airport in a wheelchair, because, man, my back is out. But when we realized that, I said to myself, that I want to exemplify the Zig Ziglar philosophy, help enough people get what they want, you can get what you want. I knew how close this couple was to Ruby. I knew how much they was expecting me to come, and I had to make sure that I honored my commitment anyway. But listen, guys, the job is still not done. Come back and get to Atlanta. We have a CGM set up. I mean, a room full of people, 1 guest in the room. Guess what, guys? Still went forward and did the presentation like there was 1 million people there. And I remember afterwards we did a training, and I told everybody in the room, I said, listen, tonight that presentation wasn't about nobody but me, because it was something mentally that I had to do to push through, to always be committed to the process so that I can always know that I'm on the right track of building the business properly. Guys, gold packs was coming from everywhere, but there was only 1 guest that was at the event that I was at that night, because I made it a point to abide by the principle of pushing through when you don't want to. You have to understand it's not always about the circumstances. It's about who you are, and it's about what you're willing to do. And you have to get to that point where you're saying, I'm so committed to the process to where I'm going to always do the right activity, and I'm never going to make it be determined on people. I'm never going to make it be determined on the crowd. I'm never going to make it to be determined on who's coming with me or not. Because guess what I want you guys to understand? There's many times that you have to realize success is a lonely journey a lot of times. There's going to be a lot of times that you're going to be on a success road, and it's going to be a long, dark road. The only light you're going to have is your vision and your hope. That's the only thing that's going to be guiding you through. Basically, you're going to be filling through the blind. There's many times you're going to be alone by yourself in terms of your thinking. In terms of your building, you're going to be on the road, and you're going to be driving, and you're going to be going places, and you're going to show up, and nobody's going to be there. Hey, welcome to success. Welcome to the journey. See, everybody want to walk in a room full of 1 million people that's ready to sign up with applications with gold packs in their hand. Wow, who wouldn't want that? But nobody wants to take the time to push through when they don't want to. When you have to make it a point that this is the way that I live my life. Because I understand that it's not based upon others or outside circumstances. I control my world. I control the victory. No. There's no such thing as you lose because you control the journey. How can you lose and you already won? Answer that one for me. Seriously. How can you ever lose and you're already victorious? You've already won. No, seriously, you just have to walk the manifestation out. I always say to women that's a part of our organization, I say, listen, there's only one difference between yourself and Oprah Winfrey. You ready? It's not because of her relationships. It's not because of her money. It's not because of her resources. It's because of the way that she thinks. She chose to tap into her potential and you didn't. That's it. That's the only difference. She wasn't born with anything else that you weren't. Well, Demond, I don't believe you. How I know I'm a winner, I'm going to prove it to you. Do you know that they had millions of sperm cells that came from your parents? You knew that? When they were ovulating and they were conceiving you, did you understand that your father had millions of sperm cells and you were the one that made it? Don't tell me you're not a winner. Don't tell me you're not a survivor. Don't tell me you're not victorious. You have to know that and understand that. You win in every situation. I don't care. There's no such thing as I lose. No, I lose when I fold my hand. I lose when I quit. See, that's when I give it up. See, pain is temporary. Quitting is forever. That's when you lose. When you decide that you are not willing to go any further because you allow circumstances to stop you from pushing through when you didn't want to. Do you realize that's where the growth is at? Do you realize that's the strength? That's the power? That's when it's time to go to work. That's when it's time to believe. I don't care how it looks. I don't care. I know we only got 4 or 5 days or whatever it is left in the month, and you had your goals that you accomplished. Do you know that you still should be believing? Let me show you why. Because you got to stop being bound by time and space. Your goals shouldn't be based upon that. It shouldn't always be based upon this. No, let me tell you why. The reason why, I know we have until the end of the month to accomplish the mission. I know what you're saying. Keep in context what I'm saying. What I'm trying to tell you is you became an emerald. You became a diamond. You ready? Not the month that you became that diamond. You became that position when you made a decision to. I'll prove it to you. I don't believe in saying things that I can't prove. Mr. David Imonitie, he said it on the call on last week. If you guys want to call and you were listening, he says, back in November, he says, I just knew that I had crown diamond done. He said I was 40,000 short of becoming crown in November of 2011. That was when he went crown. That was when the decision was made to even make the move to go after it. The decision that he made, it didn't manifest till last month. But his decision was made. That crown was done. See, if he would have been bound by time and space, he would have just came off of it and watched what have happened, and he'll still be waiting for the manifestation. See, you have to realize the moment you believe, and watch this, in your heart of heart and in your spirit, nobody knows that but you. Once you make that decision with definitive purpose, and you're making sure that you're going to accomplish that mission, do you realize at that moment is when you became a diamond. Now the title just has to catch up with you. Now you need to start acting like one. You need to start walking like one. You need to talk like one. You need to present like one, because that's who you are now. See, you have to become it way before you get it. And most people, they like to get the title, or they want the title first before they get the office. It doesn't work that way. See, success is the only thing in life that you have to pay for up front and in full before you can get it. There's no down payments with success. You can't charge it on a credit card. There's no partial. You got to pay the whole price, every last dime of it, every piece of it, before you can get it handed over to you. You have to walk in that type of office from the beginning. One of the best things that Mr. Emanite could have done for me, and it's funny now, and him and I, we laugh about it, but I'll never forget when he came to my home and he was doing our first ever presentation. I had already tried to do some stuff, put some people in the business, didn't know what I was talking about, didn't know nothing about the CD, because did you guys, the CD, the PowerPoint presentation that we use now, do you guys understand that the worst presentation is the one that's never done? That's the worst presentation ever. We was doing a presentation where all we had was a whiteboard, and I was talking about the vision of the company, and that's how people were signing up. That's what I was talking about my first few days. I just was up there getting in front of people, sharing the vision of the company, and drawing out circles on the board. I don't know if I knew what I was talking about. For whatever reason, they saw the vision. Mr. Emanite, I'll never forget, he was coming to Atlanta, and he said, hey, man, I'm going to come to your home, and we're going to do an event. He says, okay, you're going to do the front part, I'm going to do the back part. I said, what do you mean front part? He said, the presentation. I said, what presentation? He says, no, you're going to do the front part. He's telling me this like a few hours or the day before or whatever it was. I said, man, what are you talking about? He said, of the presentation, you're going to do the front, I'm going to do the back. I said, okay, so now I got all these people in my home. Go down, push it through when you don't want to. Saying to myself, what am I going to say? What am I going to do? And I'll never forget, Mr. Emanite, Mr. Mark Sterling, Taria Vaughn was there at my home that night. And I'll never forget, I got up and I started doing the front part of the presentation. The best thing he could have done for me was to make me independent at that point, because then he gave me my wings. See, he pushed me off of the mountain, and I had to grow wings on the way down. Oh, he thought I was going to crash and burn. See, the thing that I'm trying to show you is that a lot of times you want to establish that independence. Let me tell you why I'm so glad he did that for me, because I love independence. Because if he wouldn't have, I would probably be codependent and wait for him to show up, and that means now I work for him because he controls my income. Many of you guys, you're afraid to step out and say, you know what, it's time that I go for it. See, I want you to understand something. My why was bigger than my fears. See, my reason that I got to get it done is a lot bigger than the way that I feel. Oh, a lot bigger than my fear. See, most of y'all think it's cute to sit around talking about how you have a why that make you cry. Oh, my why is so big it makes me cry. No, that's the problem. You need a why that makes you fly. We don't need nothing that's going to make you cry and sit around and don't do nothing. You need something where you're going to get up and you're going to make it happen, because I got to go for it. I got to make this thing work. That's what time it is right now. That's where we are. Man, this is a vehicle. I love what Mr. Bugs shared with us the other day. Man, he got on the call. He was talking to us, and he said, man, Organo Gold right now is the Lamborghini of network marketing companies. He says this thing should be drove like a Lamborghini or Ferrari, because it's moving faster than anything that's out there. And for you guys that's not driving a vehicle like it's a Lamborghini or Ferrari, he says you're not even realizing the vehicle that you're in. You don't even understand what you're a part of. You don't understand how important it is to get independent, because now that's when you go to feeling that freedom. And that was the best thing he could have ever established for me at the beginning. So that way now it got to the point we was rocking and rolling. Girl, he called him, hey, man, what's going on? I'm not here for, 3 ways, because we was gone. Because now he gave me that freedom that was needed. He taught me something. And I'm trying to tell you guys, I'm so glad that he didn't let me back down. He didn't let me come up with no excuses. He didn't give me any of that. I had to push through even when I didn't want to. I want you to understand how important it is for you to run your race. You have to realize what I'm saying to you on tonight, guys. What we're talking about is you running your race. Everyone has their marathon of life. Everybody on this phone. Don't get caught up in someone else's marathon. Let me show you what I mean. Everybody has a 26-mile marathon of life. Every last one of us on this phone. Don't you get caught up because now somebody's at the 7-mile mark and they're moving a lot faster than you, and you're just at the 2-mile mark. Because there's going to be many people going to be running the race, and guess what they're going to do? They're going to slow down at the 14-mile mark, and you're going to pass them up, and you're going to be at the 16-mile mark. Because now you're not basing your race upon somebody else. You shouldn't be looking at it that you should be learning from that person. You should be learning what's good. You should be looking at what's bad, things not to take from different people. But you have to realize, no, I have my marathon race that I have to run. And there's sometimes that you have to run at your pace because there's some things that you have to learn. See, guys, you have to get to the point where you realize that to really build this industry, there's 2 important factors that you need. You have to learn to get influence and develop it, and you have to learn how to develop relationships. Many of you guys, you're out there ruining relationships. Many of you guys, even in this company, you're walking over people like they don't exist, like you think you're bigger or better than anyone else, not realizing that people is our most important commodity. Guys, you need to understand how important it is. You're in the people's business. You can't do this thing by yourself. I don't care how good or bad you think you are. I don't care how well dressed you think you are, how clean. That doesn't matter. You can't do it without people. And there's a way that people needed to be treated by all of us, especially as leaders. There's a way that they should always be embraced because that's where you are right now. I'm talking about even in making it a part of your life. You got to watch who you're walking over. You got to watch who you're saying no to. Watch who you're stepping over. Because I want you to understand something. Everyone has their own marathon of life. See, many of you guys, I want you to understand something. You're at the 20-mile bump. See, if you ever talk to any marathon runner, any 26-mile marathon runner, they have what's called a 20-mile bump is what they call it. And during the 20-mile bump, when they only have 6 miles left, guess what happens, guys? Most people that's running a marathon at the 20-mile marker, their body shuts down. Listen to what I'm saying to you. Their body is gone. All the physical traits, everything that they could have ever contributed, they could have ever had, it's gone. It's over. The only way that these people are able to finish the last 6 miles, it all has to be mental. It's no more physical. The physical body is out of it. Now it's a mental thing. Now it takes the power of their mind to bring them to the finish line. That's where many of us, including myself, we are at right now this month. We are at the 20-mile bump. You're doing everything you can physically. You've been in as many houses as you could. You're rocking as many calls as you can. Man, you are doing it. But now guess what? It's coming to the power of belief now. It's going to the mental aspect now. And that's what's going to bring you to the finish line. You're doing everything you can physically. You're at that 20-mile bump now. That's where we are. We're in this marathon we on. Guys, we have so much time, and most people are pushing the panic button. They've already checked out. They don't believe that it's going to happen. And I'm trying to tell you, yes, it is. You know why? Because you say it is, and you believe it is. Remember, you're victorious. You're a winner. You fought through all those sperm cells to be here. Don't tell me that you can't do it. Don't tell me that it can't be done. You can't get me to come off of it because I understand victory. We are winners. Everything that we say, we win at. The only way that we lose is if we choose to lose. We determine whether we lose or not. See, I need you to understand the only antidote to doubt besides faith is results. That's the only antidote. That's the only other thing is results. See, to manifest what it is that you believe in, to show that it's going to happen, to know that your time has come and you are walking in an office that's already yours. You have already possessed it. You already claim it. You act like it. You don't compromise in your thoughts. No, when we call you, you're not talking anything different. You're acting like a diamond. You're walking like a diamond. You're talking like one. You're presenting like one. You know why? Because that's who I am. So now when the title catches up, it was the manifestation of a decision that you made a long time ago. Because you decided to push through when you didn't want to. Because you decided to master the moment. Guys, that's what that's called. When you overcome those fears that you may be possessing. When you overcome that disbelief, you're mastering the moment. That's when your greatness is being manifested. That's who you are. That's what it's there for. See, every great feat must come with great adversity. It has to come. See, I remember when we transitioned from where we were, I remember they were talking about how they was talking about us, the things that they were saying, because I didn't want to entertain that stuff. And I would always tell people, I say, they okay. They, what you mean, man? You all calm about this? I say, nah, because they're doing what they're supposed to do. What are you talking about? I said, because every great achievement has to come with great adversity. I don't expect them to do anything else. They're playing the exact role they're supposed to be playing. See, people are supposed to be laughing at you. People are supposed to be doubting you. They're doing exactly what they're supposed to be doing. That's what it's designed for, because that's how your greatness is manifested. How will you ever get stronger with no resistance? I need you to think about that, and I need you to answer that one for me. How can you ever grow if there's no resistance in your life? See, you guys don't even understand the blessings that's there, the things that are important. That's there for a reason. That's there for your growth. That's there to take you over the top. You're running from it. You're letting it break you. You're letting it no, I'm not going to the event this week. Oh, no, I'm not going over here. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing that. Instead of you staying on your track, instead of you getting in the zone to where now you're realizing, wow, my greatness is about to manifest. Everything I've been dreaming of and I've been desiring is here. It's time now. Now I'm giving birth. You have to realize, talk to a mother who has given birth to a child. When she's pushing that baby out, that's the greatest. That pain is so intense. My wife had told me. It's so intense and it's so magnified. But boy, when that baby comes out, the joy, there's nothing like it. Do you realize that when women are giving birth to children, they're passing death? They're passing through death to give life. That's why some women die in the act of giving birth. See, you don't understand how much you're a winner, to where now it's the same principle when you're giving birth to the manifestation of your success. You guys don't realize that's where you are right now. It's in your birth canal, and you're pushing, and you're pushing, and it's supposed to be hard. That's where that intense, excruciating pain comes from, because guess what? Now when that baby pops out on the other side, that's the greatest joy you ever felt in your life, when now you walk in the stage as a diamond. And we're hugging you and we're embracing you. And we're welcoming you to the diamond and the brotherhood and sisterhood of diamondship. And now putting that jacket on you. And now putting that sword in your hand, guys. Because you gave birth. You didn't fall apart. You didn't break down. You was pushing through when you didn't want to. That's when your greatness is here. I'm so happy and grateful now for so many of you guys' success. We celebrate it. We honor you right now. We congratulate you right now on this phone for what you've been able to do, because for many of you all, watch this, don't make the end of the month be everything for you. Make the decision be what it's all about. The decision tonight that I'm all in, I'm going forward, and from this day forward, I will not allow people to determine who I am along my journey. I'm telling you now, when you master that, you got it. It's done. You got it. When people don't affect you, when people don't phase you, lying, deceiving, that's a part of the journey. That's going to be there. Put that in your calculations. See, when you're going forward and people calculating numbers, you have to always put those type of things in your calculations, because now you're prepared for it. You're inoculated with it. See, I always tell people, hey, listen, I know you got this list of names and numbers, but don't you think all these people are, oh, man, all these people I know are going to do it. No, they won't. Trust me. Trust me. Listen to what I'm telling you. But I'm inoculating you. I'm preparing you now. So when it comes your way, you're not shocked. It's not a big burden. You're not falling apart. Because guess what? I was warned of it. Now, this man helped me manage my expectations, so I was prepared. He told me you would be coming. He told me that this was going to happen. See, we're not going to just let you crash and burn. We're not going to let you be what we call being on a helicopter, where you're just spinning around because you're so excited, you're so emotional. Hey, listen, no, come on down. Let's get back to earth. Let's get back to work. Let's do this the right. I'm so glad you got that charge. You needed that. You should be feeling good right now. Now, let's look at the blueprint. Let's get back to work. Let's do what it takes now to manifest what it is that you desire. That's where we are right now. I love where the company is going, guys. I love this entire organization, the actual culture, that Mr. David Emeliti has created amongst the leaders and us all. Every last one of us on this line, we're winners and you're victorious. No, you can't get me to speak losing into your life because I don't believe in that. I just don't. I don't believe you are the determining factor. How can you be the man that won't quit? How you going to be the man? How you going to stop somebody who just don't want to quit? They're not giving up. So how are you going to say that that person could ever lose? What determines that? The game is never over. Do you understand that? When the game is over, you have closed your eyes, you're in a casket and you're 6 feet deep. Then that's it. It's over. But until that point, every day that you wake up and you have breath in your body, do you understand that you've won? Do you understand that you're victorious? And you have to understand, stop making this business about people. Make it about you. Determine that you're going to stand strong. Determine that you're going to stand upright. Determine that you're going to realize I'm going to do what I'm supposed to be doing so that I can go forward. And I'm going to stop always basing it upon who's with me. How many people is at the event that I gave? Start giving those events and the people will come. See, stop trying to get the harvest before you sow the seed. Sow the seed and pay the price. Then you got to nurture the seed. Then you got to go through your time. You got to go through your process. That's why I say to people now, people looking at everything that's going on, oh, man, you got, no, we haven't, man. We've been going through it for 18 years. I've been an entrepreneur since 1994, since I was 21 years old. I've been an entrepreneur, many ups and downs, many days where my wife and I had $2 to our name. We had 4 kids. Many days that those people was rolling our truck out of the driveway on the back of a tow truck, taking it away because we're 3-4 months behind on the note. See, don't tell me that we didn't go through it and we continue to believe. See, that's what I'm saying. You see now, because watch this. We made failure bow to us. We wasn't going to bow to it. So where now, failure had to say, let him in, man, hand success over. Give it to him. Forget it. He ain't quitting. He don't want to give up. We can't get him to come off of his principles and his beliefs. We can't get him to change his mind. We can't get him, forget it. I'm tired. I'm tired of battling with him. I'm tired of fighting with him. Give him what it is that he desires. Hand it over to him. Now it looks like everything that we ever went through didn't even exist, because now life has changed. Because the life that we're living now, we've always dreamed of, and we've always envisioned it. We always pictured it. We always wanted it. But that's what we always held on to, because we wasn't willing to hand over who we was to any circumstance or any person on the planet. When you hand that over, guess what? You have lost. That's when you have handed the victory to someone else. You have given them a trophy that you've earned and you deserve, that's yours. And that's the one thing. You can no longer anymore from this day forward hand over to anyone else. It's all about what you want it to be about. You determine your world. You speak it. You believe it. You create it. You designed it. No one else should be putting their hands on the blueprint that you have designed. Guys, I'm telling you right now, man, we're so fired up. And I just thank you guys so much tonight for just hearing us out on this call, because so many of you all, I know you at that 20-mile bump. And right now, it's mental where you have to go. You have to dig deep to push over. And many of you guys, you're going to come up with the prize. And I'm telling you now, by April 1st, it's going to be some announcements. And Mr. Manitier, going to be some new Rankston, bro. It's going to be some new sapphires. It's going to be some new rubies and emeralds and diamonds. You know why? Because we believe so. We think so. We know so. Man, do we have any other leaders on the line, any of my fellow Diamond brothers or sisters that was able to get on the line and want to have any comments on the call tonight before we close this millionaire master call on tonight? Any other leaders?
Hey, DeMond, how you doing, man? This is Bass. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir, Mr. Grant. Take it away, champ.
Man, hey, brother, y'all have failure bow to you. Like, becoming a student of the game, I always tell people, I'm always in student mode, always willing when you have leadership on the line, taking notes. And I don't know about anybody else on the call, but as soon as you said that, it was like watching a good movie or something. He was like, oh, like that. Like, did you see that? And as soon as you said, y'all make failure bow to you, I'm like, that's exactly what we're talking about as far as pushing through. And then you hit it with the fact that success is a lonely journey. I don't think people caught that. Like, people think that we just go through this process and we just win because we just determined. No, you have no idea doing the process, and it seems like you're by yourself, but you always believe that this is going to happen. Now everybody keeps saying no, and nobody's there with you when it's hurting the most. For a lot of people, your friends out there, people who you thought would be their family, but success is definitely a lonely journey. But man, when you come on the other side and it gets crystallized, it's just an amazing feeling. Then after that, everybody want to come to your party. But when it's all said and done, the ones who's with you the most, the ones who may have possibly believed in you, those are the ones you stick with. That's why I'm excited about his leadership. Hey, man, you knocked it out, brother. I ain't going to lie. I'll sit back here, man. Like, DeMar is giving it to him, brother. Keep doing your thing, brother. Like I said, I look forward to seeing you at the blue and black, baby, always, double crown. All right? Talk to you then, brother. And once again, keep banging that thing out.
Thank you so much, Mr. Bass Grant, a brother who just determined to be victorious, man, and so proud to be in business with a man of his caliber. Thank you so much, Mr. Grant. Any other of our brother or sister Diamonds on the line?
DeMar Coleman is here, man. I'm so mad at Bass going 150 miles an hour. He beat me he beat me to the back line. But that's what you do when you on fire like Mr. Bass Grant. But Mr. DeMar Crump, man, I just want to say thank you for your humility. Thank you for laying it out just as it's supposed to be laid out. I mean, you're talking about somebody who has not made excuses. You heard a lot about the struggle of Mr. DeMar Crump, but ladies and gentlemen, this man used to wash cars for a living. He used to detail cars for a living. And see, oftentimes when we're getting instructions from someone that speaks as boldly, as confidently, one of the things that we want to say subconsciously is, who do they think they are? Who do they think they are to talk to us like this? They don't know my situation. They don't know what I've been through. I'm trying. That's one of the first things people want to say. But ladies and gentlemen, when you understand that the leader that you just heard from, not only, you talk about trying, he's not trying, he's been tried over and over and over again, but he made a decision not to quit. Not in Organo-Go, but on life. This is all about making the decision, and that's all Mr. Crump was sharing with each and every one of you. Once you make a decision and you align your belief with the decision that you made, and you know that this number one lifestyle is not just for us, but it's for you, it's for anybody that makes a decision. Guys, understand that we're not telling you it's going to happen overnight, but we're not telling you it's not going to happen overnight either. What Mr. Crump is telling you is that you need to pay the price. Somebody getting rolled in on a wheelchair, ladies and gentlemen, understand there is absolutely no excuses at all. I've had back problems. I know how painful that can be. Paying the price. Man, we appreciate your leadership, the example that you've set, the example that you continue to show within this organization in particular. Had an opportunity to meet this gentleman before he even launched in Organo-Go. And I didn't meet him at the airport, and he was saying, hey, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. Didn't even see him coming. And ladies and gentlemen, people don't have to see you coming. They just have to know that you're there. And that's the constant exposures. That's the constant rejection. That's the constant naysayers. That's the constant everything that takes place that we're going to press through. Why? Because we know the end result. Mr. Crump, I thank you so much for your leadership. Thank you so much for sharing with us. This call was absolutely amazing. And, man, we're going to be following you and watching you all the way to Crown Ambassador. Give the call back over to you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Coleman. We appreciate you getting on with us as well, sir. Any other leaders on the back line?
Yes. Mr. Crump, can you hear me, sir?
I can hear you loud and clear. Let's go to work.
Man, all I have to say is, man, I've just been getting text messages from all, the leaders, a part of this organization, how you have absolutely tore this call up. And, Mr. Crump, when you can get a leader that is just as transparent as you are, just lay it all on the line. I just think about, the price that is paid. Mr. Coleman actually talks about the price that you're paying. And, I was in a city this past week, and one of the, leaders had said, if you only knew, what I've been going through, if you only understood. And my reply back to her was, no, if you only knew. And in order to get to where the level that you are, it wasn't just about the talk game. A lot of people right now are texting us and saying, Mr. Crump is laying it all out there for us. He's giving it all that he has. And guys, no, it's not just about the talk. See, this gentleman right here has done it. And that's why I'm so blessed and so honored to be a part of this organization because we have individuals like yourself who are showing up to the plate. I also remember the first day that I met you. You know, we were having a meeting after a meeting at a small restaurant here in Atlanta, Georgia, and you were just so humble. And we didn't even know who you are. Guys, I'm brand new to the industry, so I don't know who everybody is. We didn't know exactly who you were, but all I know is I remembered how you and your lovely wife, how humble. No, actually, it wasn't your wife. It was another business partner. That's right. That was coming on board, and how humbled you were, and just laid back, and guys came in and just tore it up. And guys, all I can say is this: you know, at the end of the day, you know, for the people that get it on this line, I'm truly believing, you know, from the result of this call that you just did, Mr. Crump, that there's going to be some individuals who are going to make a serious decision tonight. See, they're tired of just talking about it. They're tired of just listening to these calls and just wishing that they were on them. And they're going to make a decision because of what you have taught us and told us this evening. They're going to make a decision. They're going to go ahead and get this done. And I'm just so blessed and so honored to be able to share a platform with you, sir. And thank you for just being as transparent as you were tonight. I'm going to go ahead and I'm just talking so fast because I'm so fired up, but I'm going to turn the call back over to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Miss Avant. Brand new diamond made that decision to make it happen, man. Thank you for being on the call with us as well. Any other leaders before we close out on tonight want to come on in, guys? Any other leaders on the back line? Hey, come on in.
This is David Imonitier. How you doing, brother?
What's going on, Crump? Take it away, sir.
Man, I've been listening to this call even before you got on, and man, I gotta tell you, man, I've listened to thousands of training calls, and I've got to let you know that this was the very best call that I've heard since I've been involved in this industry. I literally became a distributor. Again, a brand new distributor on this call listening to you, and it's really inspired me to actually continue to push through even when I don't want to. And I want to let you know, man, I consider it a privilege and an honor that you're a part of this organization. And I'm excited about what it is that you bring, not just to your family, not just to your organization, but to the whole entire company. The whole entire company is going to be blessed because of what it is that you've been through, but more importantly, where it is that you're going. And I want everybody on this call to really, really take notice to the information that Mr. Crump went over tonight. You really got to understand what he was talking about. He was talking about you. He was talking about your journey, and he closed it out with you being a winner. You started out a winner, and you ended a winner. And, man, I want to tell you I appreciate you being on this call tonight. It's just been impactful. We've been getting text messages all night. People loving the information that you're giving. And I want to pass it back over to you, man. I know there's probably just one more thing you want to actually leave the organization with. We're going into the last week of the month. We're actually in the last week of the month. And this is going to be the biggest week that we've ever experienced before. And I believe that a lot of that is going to be due to this conference call that everybody heard tonight. We had almost 1,000 people listening to this call tonight. So, Mr. Crump, thank you so much. I'm going to pass it back over to you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Imonitier, our leader and mentor, for giving us the platform to even be able to share with the Organo Gold family. But guys, I want to close with this, and in all honesty, this right here, it's a crucial. It's not just a crucial week; it's a crucial moment in time for us all in terms of where our business is going this year. And right now, this is going to set the tone. These next few days are going out until we get to April 1st on Sunday. We're going to give it all I got. We're not going to try. That's one thing. We don't allow our leaders to say try. You know, trying is for average people. Winners and leaders make it happen. There's no such thing as trying. There are even some Chinese cultures where there's no word for try. Should have, could have. That type of things don't exist in the language. So you need to understand there is no trying no more. Those days are over. Those days are gone, because when you try, what you do is you leave a back door for excuses, just in case I don't go over the top. No. We're going to win or we're going to lose. Which one it's going to be? Period. Point blank. Everybody winners. We agreed to that. We came on one accord tonight as winners. Guess what? We're going to bang it out as winners. Mr. Imonitier, get ready for an explosion, because this organization and everyone that was on this line that supported Organo Gold family, we're going to get it this week.